137 BC, 3758 AM. The Romans were defeated by the Celtiberians at Numantia in Spain. This was 744 years after the Israelites built Samaria in 881 BC. A capital city like Numantia was to the Celts. This was also 612 years after the Romans abducted the Sabine Celts in 749 BC. This was 576 years after the Judahites were delivered from the Assyrian army of Sennacherib in 713 BC at Jerusalem, the capital of Judah. As this was 612 years after the rape of the Sabines by the Romans, this was also 612 years to 476 AD, the fall of Rome, exactly 1224 years after the first contact of the Romans with the Celts, Gauls. 1 Tacitus, Annals of Imperial Rome. 135 BC, 3760 AM. An extremely bright comet appeared in the east, almost rivaling the sun with a spectacular tail, spanning a fourth of the sky according to Pompeius Trogus, as cited by Justin. It was said to appear at the birth of Mithridates, king of Pontus. Roman historian Justin wrote that the comet appeared over the Mediterranean for 70 days, and that it looked as if the whole sky was on fire. It is said that this same comet returned in 120 BC, the year Mithridates VI was crowned king of Pontus. Pontus was named after the father of Poseidon and Sidon, according to Phoenician historian Sanchoniathon. Velikovsky relates that Pontus was derived from Punt, the Egyptian designation for God's land. The Chinese of the Han dynasty claim that 2 comets were seen in this year with long war banner shapes, tails, seen for 70 days, and bronze coins minted by Mithridates depict the comet of 135 BC, which was also depicted upon a coin of King Tigranes II of Armenia. This comet was also described by Seneca. About this time, Hipparchus of Nicaea thrived. He coined the phrase precession of the equinox, said to be the first astronomer to understand and explain the phenomenon. He is thought to be the first to understand the true dimensions of the Earth, having taken the 60 divisions of the planet of Eratosthenes to design a globe of 360 divisions, degrees. Hipparchus is renowned as the father of astronomy in the Western world, because he is believed to have been the first to catalogue the stars. His index included 1080 fixed stars, which denotes that he understood some importance fixed to this arbitrary sum. He invented a system for measuring the magnitude, brightness of stars, which still serves as the basis for the modern system. He even calculated the first reasonably accurate distance to the moon. 1. The Poison King. 2. Ages in Chaos, Volume 1. 3. Ancient Mysteries. 6. Human Accomplishment. 133 BC, 3762 AM. After a long period of Celtiberian resistance against Rome, the Romans under Scipio Aemilianus invade Spain and attack Numantia with 60,000 troops. Unable to take Numantia, the Romans besiege it and starve the Celts into submission. They destroy the fortress city, but even this is a superficial victory, for the Celts would soon revolt again. On the other side of Gaulish Europe, in Phrygia, King Attalus died. The land-hungry Romans concoct a scheme to acquire Phrygia by claiming that in the will of King Attalus, the Phrygian king gave his kingdom to Rome. This tactic would later be adopted by the Roman Catholic Church in the forgery known as the Donation of Constantine. Near Phrygia in Asia Minor, the kingdom of Pergamum gave Rome a library of 200,000 scrolls, this beginning the Pergamum College in Rome. In this year we have Rome acquiring or destroying lands, property or lives of 3 different cultures, all racially descended from Israelites. The calendrics too bear this out. This was 14 years after the exodus of Israel in 1447 BC, which is 657 plus 657 years. Counting 657 years after 1447 BC, then was 657 BC, when the leading families of Corinth, founded by Ionian Israelites, migrated to Macedon, and counting another 657 years was 133 BC. Recall that the Ionians first settled in Asia Minor before crossing the Aegean to begin Ionian and Danaan dynasties in ancient Greece. This year was also 828 years after the temple was completed in Jerusalem in 961 BC, the temple having a complete library of the Torah scrolls and other ancient records. This was also the 3240th year of the Olmec calendar, begun in 3373 BC. 1. Elder gods in antiquity. 2. The poison king. 132 BC, 3763 AM. A widespread slave revolt in Sicily was crushed by the Romans. Sicily was then a breadbasket to the Roman Empire. Sicily was formerly under the rule of Carthage, but with the Punic Wars over and the Romans supreme in the Mediterranean, the people of Sicily were reduced to slavery. 125 BC, 3770 AM. Judea defeats Idumea, Edom, and forces the Edomite population to convert to Judaism on point of death. The Jews are cursed for marrying Edom, according to the prophetic books. Edom is the people descended from Esau, the brother and enemy of Jacob, Israel. This was exactly 460 years after the fall of Judah in 585 BC, when Edom was jubilant over Judah's fate. 122 BC, 3773 AM. Mount Etna erupted according to Cicero. 1. Lucretius on the nature of the universe. 119 BC, 3776 AM. A comet appeared as recorded by the Chinese of the Han dynasty and the Mediterranean records, with a long curving tail. This was during the first regnal years of King Mithridates VI of Pontus. Mithridates' birth was also heralded by the appearance of a comet, and already his people and those of neighbouring lands were regarding Mithridates as a curiosity. 1. The Poison King, 2 Ancient Mysteries. 118 BC, 3777 AM. During the consulship of Quintus Marcius and Marcus Porcius, according to Pliny, more than one sun appeared in the sky. This would have been the bright reflection of sunlight off the surface of a locally passing object. 1. Pliny, Natural History, Universe and the World.